Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Liz and today I'll be talking about top 5 excuses that women make for their emotional abusers. I would always say this in my videos that anyone can be a victim of abuse, and we have all sorts different types of abuse. We have emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, and well, lots of them. And we have a lot of victims that walk the street, but the most easy to identify is a physical abuse because it leaves marks on their body, bruises on the victim's body, and you could just easily tell by looking at someone that hey, this woman could be in a physically abusive relationship or marriage. But today we'll be talking about emotional abuse, and there are certain excuses or there are certain statements that victims make, women make, just to cover up for their abusers. They make excuses for their abusers, and the first on my list today is when a woman or a victim of abuse says he loves me. They always make up this excuse, and honestly I do not know why. Now I'd like to put this out there that love can be challenging, yes, and relationships can be tough. There are times that we see them as trying moments, that they are actually trying moments in relationships, and it tests our love towards our partners. But there's one thing again I am certain of, that love isn't pain. Love is not pain. Love is not abusive. Love is not degrading. Love is not tragic. Okay, and when you find yourself in a relationship whereby you feel dehumanized, it is not love. My sister, my love, it is not love. Open your eyes to the reality. You're being abused. You're being abused by your partner, and that is not how it's supposed to be. There is a passage in the Bible that describes perfectly what love is. Love is patience, love is kindness, love is all that was said in the Bible. That is what love is. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, what is the standard? How do you define love? I know a lot of people define love by how they were brought up, what and how they are being treated. Okay, but then you have to get to a level in your life where you get to define what love is, and you have to define it the right way in order for you to know whether or not you are loved the right way. So watch out for someone who always comes up with the excuse, for a woman who always comes up with the excuse that he loves me and that is why he's behaving the way he is behaving toward me. Watch out for that person. The second, and this is the most dearest to my heart, and I know a lot of people kind of fall under this category. A lot of women make up this excuse. He has a point. She would say he has a point. He has a point, and that is in their head. It has a lot of things to do. It has a lot to do with their mindset. It's manipulative in nature, and this is where criticism comes in. I know a lot of us have heard of constructive criticism. You'd see me panning my face a little bit. That is, I'm trying to get some of my points. My note is just beside me. Okay, so there is something about constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is hard to hear. Yeah? Yes. Why? Because it has a lot of truth in it, and it is done so that a particular thing will be corrected, either a philosophy or a behavior that needs to be corrected, or a character, or just something. That is where constructive criticism comes in. But then there is a difference between emotional abuse and constructive criticism. Now, how do you know the difference? Emotional abuse is designed to create, a situation whereby you feel so low about yourself or so bad about yourself, okay? But there is something that constructive criticism does, and this is what it does. It tells you the problem, okay? It tells you the problem in your behavior and also gives you a solution or gives an alternative solution to what that problem is. But emotional abuse tends to bring you down, okay? Probably when I bring up examples between constructive criticism and emotional abuse, you get to understand. Now, an example of constructive criticism says something like this: I'm worried about our health after those test results we received at our physicals. So let's try to support each other by going out for walks and cooking more meals at home and eating healthy. This is what constructive criticism sounds like. Now, this is what emotional abuse is. And it says, with all the weight you've put on lately, you'd never find another guy. Now, I don't know if you understand the difference between these two. Now, this is it. The key difference here is that the first comment may be difficult to hear, but the motivation is a genuine concern for the partner's well-being and a desire for mutual. Okay, so another example of constructive criticism, it sounds this way: I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that's a practical solution to this problem, because now this partner gives a reason why he's trying to put down your suggestion, and does it in a very calm way, not coming at you. Now, an abusive person would sound this way: what a stupid idea. Why would you even suggest that? Are you kidding? Notice the first example doesn't simply dismiss the idea or the suggestion of the person, okay? And it doesn't mean that the person entirely agrees with it. But constructive criticism rarely ends at the criticism itself. It offers solution to the problem, okay? To whether the action or the idea or the behavior, whatever it is, it gives a solution to it. Now, that is one of the things that makes you need to weigh this too. Are you getting an abusive response, or are you getting a constructive response? You have to balance this too. Now let's quickly move to another point, and this point is another one that I love so much. And she always says, he did not mean it. He did not mean to say that. He did not mean to say that. And that is a pattern of behavior. There are mistakes. People make mistakes. Yes, we know. But is it a mistake or is it a pattern of behavior? You need to ask yourself this question, because if it's a mistake, oh yes, that person may regret whatever he says subsequently. But if it's a behavior, okay, if it's a behavioral pattern that person would use such degrading words or demeaning words at you, then you need to check it. It could be that you are in an emotionally abusive relationship. Another thing is that he is not like that all the time, and that is, yes, he may not be like that all the time. Abusers have a pattern or have a circle of how they behave. They may be sweet today, they may be horrible tomorrow, and the circle continues. So the victim may be thinking in her head, he is not always like that, and she always creates that excuse. He is not always like that. Whenever he becomes abusive, she'd say, it's not always like that. Another, and the last I'd say, is no one else would ever. When a woman always says no one else will ever love me like that, or treat me the same way he's treating me, or care for me the way he does, they would always bring up that excuse. They feel the abusive partner they're with right now are the best they can ever get in the entire world, and they always come up with that excuse. And that is to tell you the extent or the level of damage that has been done to their mindset. They believe they're in a better space. They won't be anywhere better compared to where they are with their abusive partner. I think I've exhausted all the points all the points for today. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw or you liked what you listened, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much. Until next time.